Hello, and welcome back to Under the Covers. I am your host, Nick. This is your host, Jett. And every week we choose a song that is musically relevant to ourselves or our lives. We discuss it, and then we perform it with vocals and guitars at the end of the episode. Hello.
Hi.
Yeah, I really went right through that intro. Just
you did.
boom.
That's amazing. I wish I could do something like that.
We'll get there.
Struggle.
We'll get there.
Okay.
We decided to do something a little bit different. We talked about this a couple of months ago, it feels like. A few months ago, maybe. Mm-hmm. And I thought, you know what would be fun is if we covered a song that you've done in one of your previous bands and then reciprocate it, and we cover a song that I've done in one of my previous bands. So today we're going to cover a song that you did in one of your bands. Mm-hmm. And, obviously we won't say which song and which band quite yet. We'll get there. We will definitely get there. But this was... I thought it was a fun idea. I really had fun understanding more about your personal musical history and listening to a band that I knew you were in, but I didn't have a lot of experience with. So I got to listen to them and hear them. I'm like, oh, okay. And like, I'm kind of getting the vibe of what you guys were and how you guys played. But you chose the song of like, let's do this one. What made you choose this one out of a catalog of things that you could have chosen from?
Yeah, we had a couple albums and albums. This was just my favorite song. It always was. The context is, even when we were talking about it today, I was like, wow, I realized how far back my ideology goes. Mm-hmm. So this was recorded, you said maybe like 15-ish years ago. And you feel like lyrically you're still in that same headspace or not too far away from it, I should say, because everyone evolves and sure.
It doesn't. So I'm not saying like, oh, you haven't grown. I'm not saying that. I'm saying you feel like, oh, this is still relevant to me. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
Cool.
For sure.
In what way?
Just that the way the world has been going and is going, there's always an undercurrent of evil kind of thing. And there's always a triumph of good. And that's a lot of what I talk about in this song. So that's pretty much that's the basis of it. Yeah. But yeah.
Listening to this band, you guys had some very interesting instrumentation there.
Yeah.
And it was just unexpected of like, okay, wait a second. Drummer, guitar player, bass, vocals, okay. But then there was a little bit more flavor where didgeridoo player. Mm-hmm. And then the guitarist played a guitar that was made by the drummer. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, tell me a little bit about the ethos of this band. The drummer made his own kit also. Mm-hmm. Tell me how...
All of our instruments were handmade, aside from the microphone.
Explain, please. Because this is interesting to me of like, almost nobody does that. So
no, I know. It's
so
true,
tell us how you guys got there. Was this a conscious choice when you guys got together of like, it'd be cool is to tell Sam Ash to go fuck themselves, or was it something different?
No, they were always so Sean and Beazle and Jeremy for that matter. Were always in drum circles and had played music together before in different bands. So they were kind of already working on something at the time. And I found them because I had been playing in a cover band and we mostly played in Tampa. And I was kind of telling the cover band, I want to start playing original music. I love 80% of our catalog for covers. The other 20% I can't hang with anymore. I'm tired of playing these songs.
What was the cover that you played the most and couldn't stand?
I can't even think of it right now.
Please say Mustang Sally.
Oh no.
Okay.
I wouldn't mind playing that one.
What, you wouldn't mind at first?
No, I know. That to me is more like
standard traditional
Northern soul kind of stuff, but this one I'll think of it in a minute, but it is so heinous to me. I just
Arms Wide Open, Creed. No, I'm not.
Also,
I just wanted to see if,
no, I can't. That would be a hard pass for sure.
Mhm.
But this one was, I can't even remember the name of the band, but it was something about, shit, I can't. I don't know. I'll think of it later.
You disagree with the subject matter.
I just hated everything. Yes.
So Nothing But a Good Time by Poison.
No,
I'm
no,
just kidding.
no. That would be a fun one to play,
That would be
actually. But yeah, this was just it. It was like a kind of like a hillbilly rock song, but also, yeah, it was rock. But anyway, I didn't want to play those kinds of songs anymore. Like, I was done.
Okay.
And so I was working at Whole Foods at the time, and there was this guy that did the massage chair at Whole Foods, and his name was Norman.
Wait a second. They do a massage chair at Whole
They
Foods?
used to. They don't anymore.
Oh my god.
I know. It was great, and he did a great job. He always had clients.
I feel like if you're going to Whole Foods and you're paying Whole Foods prices, that massage should be free. Like, you should sit down in that chair and it's like, don't worry, buddy. Like, things are going to get better for you. You'll get a raise next year. You'll be able to afford this more than once every couple months.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nora was really cool, and we kind of just got to know each other. He was also kind of in the drum circle circuit. Would go and like dance in the drum circles. He had like flowy pants and stuff. He was really cool dude. Good vibes, and we got to talking one day, and I asked him, or he's like, what are you doing musically, kind of thing. And I was like, oh, I'm looking for like an original band. He's like, hey, I know this dude Sean, and I was like, okay. And so that's how Sean and I got in contact, and then the rest is kind of history. But it was kind of kismet, and Sean has this great place with his girlfriend slash partner.
Okay.
Like, she's awesome. She's an amazing dancer, and she does everything. She's a freaking surgeon.
She is?
Yeah. She's
What?
a surgeon, and then also does this like amazing artsy kind of dance things. Like, she was in that video.
Yeah.
And it was in everything that they did.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that video in a moment.
Okay.
She was a surgeon. Wow.
Prolific surgeon.
Okay. Lots of people. Cutting up people left and right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And so that's kind of how that started.
You mentioned two people in this band, Sean and Beazle, and it was fun for me because I was like, oh, those were always like band adjacent people for me in the 90s, where one of my bands shared a warehouse with Sean's band. So we knew each other. We played a lot of shows together.
That band was Neurotica?
That band was Neurotica.
Okay.
Yep. And then also Beazle's band, which was Pimp Slap the Atmosphere. Yep. They would play shows with it. Like, it would always be the three of us going out and playing, State Theater or some festival in Bradenton or
that's
whatever.
so cool.
So, yeah, it was fun to listen to them and not just get a little bit more of your history, but also hear like, oh yeah, like I know I know these people, and it's interesting to see where they went after I knew them. It was cool. It was very cool. I hope they see this and they're like,
oh, they're gonna see it.
They can
I'm
be
gonna send
like,
them links.
oh, like you really like got the vibe of this, or like, or I get a message, they're like,
that sucked.
No. Yeah, keep
it doesn't
whatever
suck.
you do during the day, keep doing that.
Oh no. No, but we had a great time as a band, and we were really good.
They were
really
cool guys.
good.
I always liked hanging out with them
Yeah.
and hearing what they had to say, and they were great players. Like, they were fantastic players.
Yeah,
when Sean was in that band, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no.
When Sean was in that band, Neurotica, they had a song that was just phenomenal. And every time we heard it, because we would play shows together, so I'd hear them all the time, and I'd hear their catalog all the time. But every single time I saw them, no matter how many times I saw them, they would go into this song, and I'd be like, "That's the one, man. You guys need to get paid for that song because that's a good one."
Oh yeah. Which one was it? Do you remember?
That was From Genius to Lunatic.
Ah.
So if Sean watches this, that was your jam. Like that was the one where you guys were like firing on all cylinders.
Nice.
Yeah, it was really good.
That's cool. But yeah, it was a super fun band to play with, and it was just fun being in a band that was so varied. And like, I think I was just joking around with Nick at the beginning of the day that we should have been called Low End Theory because
It's like you guys did Tribe Called Quest covers.
So heavy.
Yeah,
right. Yeah.
It was. That
So
kind of
heavy.
brings up a good point. Is I know we've talked about this so many times on the show where you have to sort of determine what's the vibe of the song and then what's important to keep or ditch depending on, we're only going to be guitar and vocals. So what do we keep? And right away, Sean does a guitar solo. I'm like, I'm not doing that. There's just like, I can't play that way. Like, I'm just not that good.
We did a cool segue though.
I think we did a cool segue, but I think the important part was this band had such this big, low sonic sound to it of just this really dark, grindy, very low frequency. So that's what I tried to do. And it looks like he was playing like a guitar that, he made. So it was wild looking. I don't know how it was tuned, but the bottom of it had to be tuned real low. But he played a solo that seemed real hot. So I was like, I don't know what that crazy tuning is. But
What did you say, A?
I thought A because I used a baritone tuned down to A to cover this.
Okay.
So it's very lit. It's like bass register.
Yeah. I think I remember one of our like themes every time we would practice would be like, love the chug.
Yeah. You nailed it. Chug was definitely in this song for sure.
And the other thing, this was other, I think Beazle came up with this one. Cranker down.
It's pretty good.
But we had a fun freaking time in the band.
We had super low tuned guitars and then a low bass and then also didgeridoo.
Didgeridoos, Jeremy.
I never know if it's like didgeridoo or diggeridoo. Like, is it a
Didgeridoo.
hard G or?
It's a soft G.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, soft G.
But even that's like a. So that, like all of this stuff is like super low. All the time, like wow, like you guys are really taking up that end of the spectrum.
Oh yeah, completely. Yeah, and for my vocals, like it took a lot for me to overcome all of that low sonic because I'm kind of low too.
Yes, you are.
So to come through all of that, it was a chore.
Let's talk about this video that you mentioned.
Oh yeah,
because I didn't even know that there was a video until this morning. So this song has kind of been on my radar for a few weeks, and then listening to it and figuring some stuff out
on
and
Spotify.
On Spotify, and then you showed me like, oh yeah, like in the video you see him like, wait, a video? Like,
because I wanted to show him Sean's guitar.
Yeah,
and I was like, look,
really
this is
cool.
the guitar.
Yeah.
He was like, there's a video?
I've never shot a video for anything I've ever done ever. So tell me about the process of shooting a video, why you chose the song, how you filmed it, where you filmed it, who filmed. Like, give me all of the details. I want to hear all of this.
So Sean lives with Marguerite, and Marguerite is the surgeon.
Mm-hmm, yep.
So she has this amazing place that's kind of like in kind of mid-south Sarasota, like just south of Bee Ridge.
Okay.
In that, like along the creek.
Yep.
There.
Yep.
And she's got this beautiful property. So, and she's got like the main house, and then there's this like studio, like
main house and a studio. Somebody's doing well.
Yeah, she good. But this studio was where we shot the video and stuff, and I believe that it was Sean's sister that was part of it, and she had a little company of her own called Kim Yu Productions.
Okay, what's her name? Kim?
I don't think so.
Oh, well then I don't know where the name Kim Yu came from.
I can't remember.
I mean, it's cool, but just trying to figure it out.
No, she's awesome though.
Yeah,
like,
I'm sorry to put you on the spot with like, what was her name? You're like, I don't know.
She's awesome though. I love her. So yeah, I think she helped with a lot of that, and so we did a concept album. This was all Sean's idea to do the whole album and line it up with scenes from the old Dracula film Nosferatu, which Nosferatu, do you know how that translates?
I can take a wild stab at it, but I will let you tell me for it to not seem like an idiot. Where I'm like, is it Latin for this? And you're like, nope.
Our strength from you.
I would not have said that.
Yeah, it's really cool. So it came together, and eventually we did this like in the Burns Court area, and played along with the film, and the film ran on the back wall.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that was really cool.
That's cool. What year was that?
I don't know.
Okay.
Maybe 8, 2008.
Oh, it was long after I left Burns Court. That's
yeah,
cool.
yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, that was another one of the things that we did.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was really fun.
You listening to this song and listening to your vocal style, I can hear how your vocal style has changed and matured and changed over the years. Not that this was bad at all. It was great, but I felt like I heard a much heavier influence from Portishead listening to this of like not. I mean, you know what I mean by influence of. I hear those elements sung over this style of song where some of the phrasing or some of the way that some of those notes come together, or some of the way those notes interact with the music, where it has like just a little bit of dissonance to it, which I thought was really cool. It was awesome, and I was like, oh, that's cool. And I can kind of like, knowing your personal tastes, I can draw a line of like, oh, I wonder if that sort of helped inform some of those decisions that she made.
Sure. Yeah. I had, at the time, I heard people would tell me like it sounds a little bit like Bjork as well.
Yes.
So
yeah, I could see that.
Which, yeah, I was definitely heavy into that.
Yeah.
At the time too, but yeah, yeah, it was a fun band, and and Jeremy made all of his own didgeridoos.
Yeah.
Yeah, every single one of them. He would tune to a different note.
What am I doing? You're talking to Sweetwater.
Right. And I would love to actually. I've been in touch with Sean and the last year, just over different things. But I haven't been. I haven't reached out to Beazle and see what he's doing. But I know that they're all doing okay.
Yeah, I'm sure they are.
And Jeremy too. But and Sean and Jeremy still do stuff together.
Oh, that's cool.
Because they're Digis Christ Super Drum.
What?
Digis Christ Super Drum. They do their own thing, and I was actually part of that for a little bit.
Okay.
We all wore these cool monkey masks, and I played.
I remember you telling me about monkey masking, but for some reason I thought that this was this band.
No,
Okay.
No. That one I didn't sing at all. I just got to play drums.
Okay.
And do fun movements.
Okay.
Yeah, it was cool. But yeah, that was a fun part of my life for sure.
That's awesome.
And this song was definitely one of my favorites.
I'm glad you chose it. I'm glad I got to be a part of it.
Yeah.
And get a little behind the chug.
Yeah.
To contribute the chug.
So good.
When we were kids, we used to call this the Jun Juns. Because everything's Jun.
Yep. And so you shared a practice space together?
Sean and I did. So Sean's
when you were
band,
in Homeland?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. So Sean's band and our band, he would play I think it was their warehouse, but we would practice on a Wednesday and Friday, and they would practice on Monday and Thursday. So yeah, we were always kind of back and forth.
So in your same practice space with different writing styles at the time, how would you say that's different now?
I would say, when I listened to World Collision and I heard all that really, really low chunk and detuned guitars, and it said stuff to me like, oh, I remember kind of having that sort of sound in our band also. It would be so neat if maybe we had an influence on Sean and his group, and they started writing a little bit more that way, because I feel like now when I think about that time and how we are now, it'd be so awesome to learn Sean and the projects that he's in write a little bit more the way I used to, and I write more the way Sean used to. I write more Neurotica style stuff, whereas he might write a little bit more low end Homeland style stuff without the terrible rapping. We were a new metal rap band, and I'm never gonna stop apologizing for that.
Aww.
We listened to it a little bit today, and I was like, ugh.
Oh, really?
Oh man. I mean, there are parts of that band that are really good. There are other parts that when we do the song that I chose, it's not going to be one of theirs.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, not saying anything bad. I'm just like, oh.
Yeah.
It was very of that time, where it's funny, listening to Neurotica, I feel like I could probably hear their music now and it would still be yep, this is still relevant, or this still plays.
Yeah.
Whereas our stuff felt really, really dated when I listened to it now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. That's fun.
You guys were really good. I enjoyed learning more about this band and hearing them, and then being able to play it was cool.
Like, this was the only band that I was with that I ever got to play out of the state with. Like, we played in Ohio.
I've never played out of the state.
It was fun. All these like cool pagan festivals. It was fun. But yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, you want to introduce the song in the band that you were a part of.
Yeah.
This is the fun part.
Yeah, so you're about to listen to Sign, S-I-N-E, by World Collision.
There is a sound that resonates, such a powerful hum, could destroy all that emulate good on the outside with evil hearts. But I still see unity between black and white lines where it's gray, because we were all alone. What we never thought, every part of light and all that is dark. I hear a movement behind the lines, something stirring down low, out of reach they wouldn't recognize this frequency as it grows into this blackened sky. We break the bones of this life, letting all of the weight down, threatening truth we show through now. I still see unity between these black and white lines where it's gray, because there is new sight from once shut eyes. I still see unity. We were all alone, what we never thought, every part of light and all that is dark. We were all alone, what we never thought, every part of light and all that is dark.
Thank you so much for watching this episode of Under the Covers. Please like, share, and subscribe. You can also follow us on Instagram and Facebook at UTC Music Podcast. We launch new episodes on the 1st and 15th of every month. And if you're new to the show, thank you so much for showing up and watching. For additional features like extra episodes, reaction videos, blooper reels, because we're really good at that, you can sign up for Patreon. And that's also Patreon UTC Music Podcast. So thanks for watching, and please come back.